Good morning and welcome to let's call it the state championship edition of the Eagles Nest Coaches Show. I'm Graham Hefner. I'm here with my co-host John Kosader, these three state champion players, and our state champion head coach Paul Carroll. Coach, what does this mean to you?
I tell you, it's this is for Eagle Nation. This is for Stratford Academy. It was an electric night the other night at Mercer. Our guys played just with reckless abandon, with energy all night long, and they found a way to win the football game. It's an awesome feeling for our football players, for our community, and we're glad it happened.
You describe these three players of the week that are here with us.
Yeah, we got offensive player of the week. Actually, Aaron Jefferson. He had over 100 something yards. I know the other night it was pretty tough offensively for us. We didn't put the 14 points on the board, but it comes down to being able to run the football, and he did a great job. I think he had a touchdown, he had a big run, a 60-yard big run for us there in the first half. He was our offensive player of the week. Defensive player of the week was Jalon Smith. Jalon actually had 6 solo tackles, but he had 11 assists. He had 17 total tackles the other night after going back and grading the film. He had probably one of his best games on defense, and that's something we stressed all week long, and we've got to play top-notch defense to be able to win this ball game. Lineman of the week goes to Maddox Whitehead. He had 4 tackles, 5 assists, and 5 sacks, and 2 TFLs. Another a great game by him. These two guys probably played their best defensive game all year long, and we're glad it happened in the last game in the championship game, and that's what got us the victory. Special teams player of the week. He's not here today. He's actually under the weather. Was a freshman, Mo Butler. Huge momentum play that he was a part of. He blocked the punt to help us win the football game, and we always preach that all year long about blocking a punt. We block at least one, we know we have a chance, probably 90-something% to win the football game. And Brady Fenoy actually recovered it. I think it was at the 3-yard line. So it was a huge night. These guys played all awesome, and they get to wear a ring now, which is awesome.
Aaron, I'll start with you. After that block punt set y'all up first and goal, what was the mindset of the offense?
It was like I just said, okay, we on the 3-yard line though. It's our chance to win the game right here, and we did.
How big was that 2 point play after the touchdown to ensure the 7 point lead instead of five?
It was actually a big. It was actually a big part of the game because even if they score, we would want to overtime, block the kick, and we could have won the game. But I thought that was a very important part of the game.
As a freshman, how did it feel to go over 100 yards in the state championship game to help us win?
It felt great, being able to do that for my team and getting us the big W was felt amazing at the end.
So, Maddox, let's talk a little bit about the day of the game. You get to school early, you get on the bus. I mean, already a sense of importance, and then you get to the stadium. And I know you probably knew this was happening, but how did that Eagle Walk help like fire up the team?
I just feel like just the tradition of we like doing it all season. It just kind of brings everybody together closer and more focused, and it just doing the walk. It brings everybody closer and just makes it the whole atmosphere a lot better.
So I've said it over and over again. I think that was one of the most dominating games I've ever seen a defensive lineman play. And in the biggest game of your life, what kind of mindset were you in when you were lining up?
I was just in a really focused mindset and just really just reading my cues of what I needed to do and making sure I was going the right places and making the right moves whenever I needed to do something to make a play.
Well, I'm sure their offensive line didn't really enjoy what you did to them because it was a clinic. There's no other way to say it. There's a clinic. But now you've played your last high school game with the state championship. Is there any other way you would want to end your high school football career?
Absolutely not. That's the best way it could have gone out.
Dylan, as an interior D lineman, how in the world did you end up getting 17 combined tackles?
Right there, man, going into that game, I knew it was gonna be a dogfight going into that game. Everybody's gonna play their best game, and no matter what it was. I mean, it's a state championship, so to do that, I knew I was gonna have to play hard every play, do what's best for my team, and just read my keys. And I did a pretty good job at it.
We can ask the same thing that we just asked the Maddox. It's your final game as well. How's it feel going out on top?
I feel great, man. That's what everybody want to do, man. But only a certain amount of people can really appreciate that place of being there at that time. So it was very great.
So, Coach, I think we talked a little bit about the beginning of the season, and you said one of the keys to the season was going to be finding some leaders on this team. Just talk a minute about how your seniors really stepped up over the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it really started probably that first playoff game after, having to play Calvary Christian in the last away game in the regular season game and then play them again, flip around and play them again. And our seniors, winning football games is all about preparing. And you got to prepare and practice. And that's something that they did a great job of getting ready and getting the other players ready. And there was times out there that we had some bad practices. Don't get me wrong, but those guys were out there trying to lead, and you only can go as far as your seniors go. And our seniors wanted to keep playing, and they showed it, and they wanted to make sure they was going to win that final football game, and they did.
Yeah, because I remember talking, I guess it was that Monday of the last week, and you're like, yeah, practice was not good today. I'm assuming it got a lot better through the week. So let's talk. I feel like I have to talk about Mo Butler just for a second because he's not here. Coach, I'm sure you played special teams somewhere in your football career. That was not an easy punt to block because he caught it, he sidestepped. I don't know how he blocked that punt. Talk a minute about how big and how hard that play was.
That was huge. And like I said before, we have stressed that, and these guys will tell you, we call them the Bandits, and that's our punt block team. And, this year, earlier in the year, we stressed about how to block a punt and, crossing your arms over to take off and so forth. And later in the year, we kind of backed off a little bit because you don't have a whole lot of time to get to a lot of special teams here. And there had to be kind of walkthroughs and so forth. And it's hard to simulate how to block a punt in practice, But, with him, my biggest thing is players make plays. Plays don't make players. And that was a player that made a play. And a freshman, and he just said, hey, I'm going to get it done and just make the play. And it was huge for us.
So when you're on special teams when do you notice that there's a bad snap? Do you see it right away, or do you get halfway to the punter and realize it, or what?
You probably get halfway. To be honest with you, I can't say anything about that because I never was on that punt block team because I wasn't real fast when I played football. So, we teach those guys they have a certain gap they have to attack. And when they attack, they have to also not attack the punter, but it has to be at the block point, which is basically at 7 to 8 yards. And they have a block point they have to go to, which is taking it off his foot. So it made it even more difficult for him because it was a bad snap and the punter didn't step up in the pocket. He went around. He tried to rugby style it. So Mo just made a heck of a play.
And the guy had probably averaged about 45 yards of punt coming into that punt. And high snap was the key, no doubt about it.
Well, I don't think there's a better way to wrap that up. As state champions, stay tuned for basketball season and what we may have coming up with the coaches show with that. 1, 2, 3, Eagle Pride.